So imagine a world where the cognitive effects of Alzheimer's can be delayed for so long that they never rip apart a life or a family. Well, I am excited to share with you that is the future ahead of us with the burgeoning pipeline of therapeutics targeting Alzheimer's, treatments that will be here in the coming years. And after nearly 120 years of research, we finally have a reliable, affordable, scalable indicator of Alzheimer's pathology in the brain that we can detect in blood using a simple test my team and I have developed. And this is going to be vital because our ability to implement these treatments is going to rely on detecting Alzheimer's pathology quickly, repeatably, and reliably. But now I need you to imagine that our newest therapeutics, our tools for clinicians, are 3.5 times as effective for men as they are for women. Because that's the reality that we're in. Our ability to help people with Alzheimer's is undergoing a revolution. But despite this, there are key gaps ahead of us, key steps that we need to take to prepare to help for the surge of people that will have dementia in the coming years. Today, more than 55 million people across the globe are diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And this is expected to more than double across the next 30 years. The implications of this for family, for society, for our healthcare infrastructure will be truly staggering if we can't alter the course of this terrible disease. Models suggest that if we could slow the rate of cognitive decline by even 30%, it would result in $5.5 trillion of savings in the US alone. This would have such massive benefit for society. And I am happy to share we have a new therapeutic. It's been approved by the FDA. It's been a watershed moment for Alzheimer's clinical care because on average, it delays the cognitive effects of Alzheimer's by 27%. But it's 3.5 times greater for men than for women. This is especially difficult because we know that women are more than twice as likely to develop Alzheimer's, and we simply don't know why. We know that it's more than just women living longer because there are protective effects of the hormones that women produce before they go through menopause. We also know that Black women are at increased risk. So there seems to be perhaps an interaction with race, but we simply don't understand this yet. Because we don't understand how Alzheimer's arises, we don't know what sex differences are important yet. But we need to understand this so that we can develop more targeted therapies. So now I need to tell you about how our understanding of Alzheimer's is shaped by our culture of science. Despite everything I've just told you, despite what we know, a study has shown that only 8 in 118 dementia studies actually report effects specific for males and females. The rest, lump them together. And it's probably not surprising that these studies are more likely to have female authors, but only 1 in 3 dementia studies have female study leaders. And this bias starts at our earliest phases of research. Our laboratory studies primarily use males and sometimes exclusively use males. But know that this problem is not specific to Alzheimer's. This is across clinical research. So why is this? Well, of course, there are many reasons. But I want to tell you about one of the events that I have experienced and heard about that has reflected a time when a woman faced obstacles in her career, in her journey to become a scientist because of her sex, that I feel is representative of the stories I have experienced and the stories that friends and colleagues have shared with me. So earning your PhD is one of the last remaining apprenticeships in our society. You work closely with your mentor. They help you grow, and they help decide when you've done enough to earn your doctoral degree and move on. You develop a bond, and this can result in lifelong friendships and support systems, but it can also result in unique challenges. When I was training for my PhD, there was a research leader who was having sexual relationships with his graduate students. A young woman came to me and said that she felt pressured that if she didn't have a sexual relationship with him, he would not agree to award her her PhD. I'm happy to share that she did ultimately get her degree, but it was only after he left the university in a wake of an investigation into his conduct, where he went on to get a better job where he still teaches. Where would she be if she hadn't had to deal with this? Where would she be if he had seen her as a person rather than a woman? Where would I be if he hadn't done similarly to me? These experiences add up, and this is the unfortunate reality of being a woman in these fields for many women. But now we are in an age of hope. There have been breakthroughs in the last 1 to 2 years in how we diagnose and how we treat Alzheimer's, and we are setting a precedent in this moment. Our blood tests that can detect a reliable indicator for what is happening in your brain using your blood has been used in over 60 cohorts in over 12 countries across the globe. There is even early evidence to suggest that from a finger prick alone, we can learn insights into the health of someone's brain, and this is going to open the doors for people that have not previously had access to this healthcare infrastructure to gain insights about their health as they age. We even hope that someday this test can perhaps serve as a red flag for clinicians as part of a healthy aging exam. This is a watershed moment for the treatment of brain diseases. I believe that there is excitement and hope in the research and clinical community across the world for the impact that these tests will have. And we are setting a precedent. We are paving the way for investments into neurological diseases and neurodegenerative diseases to truly make a difference for these patients. The reality is the number of people with Alzheimer's is going to rise substantially in the coming years, and we need to work together to prepare the healthcare ecosystem to navigate these challenges. It's going to take all of us coming together. There's going to need to be a dedication of resources and collaboration across many levels. And on this note, I want to personally thank those who have contributed, those who have participated in clinical research and in clinical trials, because it is due to their participation that we have the data I've been able to share with you today. And finally, for the young women that are considering neuroscience, considering scientific careers, or going through their training now, know that there is a place for you. Keep pushing. When someone tells you to be patient, understand why they're asking. Make the decision for yourself. Advocate for yourself, trust your judgment, and know that the field needs you. We have come so far in such a short amount of time, but we still don't understand how Alzheimer's emerges. We still don't understand why there is an effect of sex. We still don't understand how race contributes. And these are pieces of the puzzle that we need to make targeted therapeutics. We are poised for a change in our scientific culture that will accelerate all of these learnings. And I believe we are up for the fight. Thank you.